first for San Antonio. Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And in the middle, out of Brazil, taken with the 28th pick back in 2008, the 6'11" pivot man, Thiago Splitter. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Duncan in at the power forward position. And for the Heat, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4-man position. Here's LeBron, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Well, it's an almost impossible task guarding him. He's so strong and quick. LeBron is like a locomotive bearing down. You see why teams have to give hard fouls to stop him, because a little bit of contact just is not going to be enough to stop him.
Hey, Steve, a lot of contact isn't enough to stop the freight train LeBron James. I mean, he draws so much attention defensively, but what makes him special is how he can punish a defense for overcommitting, because I think his greatest attribute amongst all of his great attributes is his passing ability.
Well, what a series it was in the finals a year ago. Such great basketball, two teams that like to play up-tempo. And I'll tell you, the Spurs had Miami. They had the series in the bag. They were one play away from wrapping it up in Game 6, but the miracle comeback from the Heat that led to the Game 7 victory and another title for the Miami Heat.
The Heat rebound. Here's Haslam. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Tim Duncan picks one up.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
Clark, it was interesting because the games themselves weren't particularly close through the first half of the series, but things started to get really tight when they left San Antonio after Game 5.
How about that, Kevin? You talk about things tightening up. We had a game for the ages in Game 6. 28.6 seconds to go. The Spurs +5. Miami needed a miracle, and they found it in the form of timely three-point shooting and got some help from the San Antonio Spurs missing some free throws.
The Game 6 was about as intense an NBA game as you'll ever see.
Oh, it was off the chart. Absolutely fantastic.
Bosh misses.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
And Duncan with the basket on the assist by Green.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
He dishes it to LeBron. Lays it up and banks it in. LeBron's got 5.
And that's his forte, finding that angle and then aggressively attacking the rim.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
Kevin, he said that he has a ton of confidence in their ability to play defense and that they would be the aggressor when they don't have the ball. He said we're going to get right in their face on defense and intimidate them with our pressure from the tip. We'll see how that goes, guys.
Thanks, Doris. And as Doris provided the details, guys, the way they plan to attack defensively will be key early on, won't it?
Yeah, and early is the key word there, Kevin. If they can string together some stops right away, I think it'll really set the tone.
Which is just what they're going to be after, guys. They love to turn this into a defensive battle.
If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Pass to Chalmers. Back to LeBron. Beyond the arc. LeBron with another miss.
You know, one of the stranger things of Tim Duncan's Hall of Fame career is how his free throw percentage has fluctuated from season to season, guys. Some years in the 70s, others in the low 60s. Last year was a good one for Timmy, though, as he shot well over 70. Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
Parker's shot is off.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
Going back to Duncan's free throw shooting, last season he changed his routine and shooting motion. He doesn't do that long pause anymore, and the numbers he put up last year were terrific at the line.
I think he found the right balance. He used to shoot the ball too quickly. Once he released it, this is a much smoother stroke that we've seen from Duncan. That's why he shot better than 80% on the foul line for the first time in his career.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And the defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
Nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that. You know, you always want to try to win the free throw game when you're playing basketball. And the Spurs, while not getting to the line as much as their opponent or as much as they have in the past, they maximize their opportunities by shooting 80% from the stripe.
Wade against Ginobili, and the basket by Wade.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
Parker kicks to Ginobili. Leonard. No luck. 1:53 left in the first. Allen, that's good. And Clark, what you said about the Spurs at the line, that's what the top teams do. They don't let their opponents get away with fouls and steal weak points at the charity stand.
Yeah, that's the big thing. You know, over the course of the season, a lot of games get decided by just a couple of points. And if your team is able to make free throws at a high rate, like the Spurs, shooting just under 80% last year as a team, you know, that's good for a big chunk of wins during the season.
Here's Cole. He's guarded by Diaw. Battier, the pass to Wade. 6 on the shot clock. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And Kevin, he's really solidified his role as the closer on this team. You know, Miami struggled to figure out whether they'd go to LeBron or Bosh or Wade at first. I think Wade has become the guy.
Well, I tell you what, it's nice to have 2 guys that are capable of closing, Steve. And I agree with you, though. His aggressiveness and confidence probably give him a slight edge in closing over LeBron. You can play great defense on him, but he still typically finds a way to get the shot he wants.
Here's Cole. And 1:01 left in the first quarter. Pass to Allen. Lets it go from deep. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Allen's got 5. Spurs trail by 5. Parker kicks to Bellinelli. Passes to Bobby. He feeds it to Bellinelli. All sorts of time. Gets the bucket. Here's Wade. He has 5. 30 seconds left here in the first quarter. It's rebounded by Bellinelli.
Tell you what, if there's success on the boards in this first quarter is any indication, it's going to be a good day.
And rebounds usually are a good indicator.
Back to Parker. Parker left side. Ginobili attacking with 1 on the clock, and the rejection by Battier. And that concludes a back-and-forth high-scoring first quarter of play. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose. Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kevin, LeBron James, a career 33% shooter from long range, had never shot over 36% from long range until last year, when he shot over 40% from deep. He said over the summer working out, he'd punish himself for missed threes by running wind sprints. And with the Heat, he challenged Ray Allen to three-point contest, with the loser doing push-ups. James said he lost more than he won, but as much as he hates to lose, that competition drove him to improve. Kevin?
You know, you hear it all the time, Doris, lead by example. He's a hard act to follow with his work ethic. And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually, you know, kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while.
Allen for three, and that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. And it's 8 points for Ray Allen.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
He kicks it to Bellinelli. The feed to Splitter. Clock at 6. The dish to Parker. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low. You know, you survey other point guards in the league and ask them who their toughest assignment is, and a lot of them will tell you it's Tony Parker. I mean, his ability to weave in and out at the speed he does just drives would-be defenders mad over the course of 4 quarters. Parker is always in attack mode.
And Clark, you mentioned the penetration ability of Tony Parker. He really has become the focal point of the Spurs drive and kick offense, Steve. So fun to watch.
Yeah, you talk about his speed and quickness, but it's really all about the overall skill level, the ability to finish it in the lane, the knockdown jump shooting, the free throw shooting also improved. But it's incredible how well-rounded Parker has become.
Is he the fastest point guard, you think, in the NBA?
I would say yes.
Outside, Green. Quarter 2, and just under 2.5 minutes gone by.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
And it's LeBron missing.
While not as dominant on defense as they were a year before, the Heat still were tough at that end of the court. The thing is, you could see them turn it on and turn it off when they needed to defensively, so they always managed to get the key stop when they needed it.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Heat.
With the aggression they're showing early on, I mean, they're driving it to the hoop with authority and force.
And the other thing we're seeing is great ball movement. We're seeing a lot of good offensive execution, ball movement, player movement, setting up assists.
Back to Bosch, to the inside. A nice shot by LeBron. LeBron's got 11 points. And when you're coming off a title like the Heat are, there is a natural tendency to cruise. But, Clark, you said this, and Steve, I'm sure you want to comment on it. They can turn it up in a hurry.
Well, there's just so much athleticism on this team that if they want to pressure you in the half court, they usually can force turnovers, and if not, they can also sit back and play a more straight-up defensive style and be very effective that way as well.
Knocks it loose. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And the Spurs making a change here. Duncan's checked in. Now a timeout called by Miami. And as with any timeout at this point of the game, important to go over the strategies that are working and those that are needed in terms of adjustments. And, of course, the opportunity, guys, to get hydrated with Gatorade before coming back out to the floor. We've seen some good action so far, and there's more of it to come.
Yeah, this game has been physical. It's been fast. It's been high-paced. So anytime you're in a situation like this where it's really a hard-fought game, critical to keep yourself hydrated throughout.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, fellas, Greg Popovich, known for his sarcastic, sometimes contemptuous answers to some of the questions from us media members. He said it seems to entertain everyone but his wife. She tells him to cut it out, be a grown man, and show some maturity. But he said, I can't. I simply can't do it. Guys?
Yeah, he's a piece of work, isn't he? Thank you, Doris. Both shots good from a strike. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Nice shot by Ginobili.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Chalmers against Parker. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. 1:12 left in the first half. He passes to Allen. Again, Allen missing.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And that hard work on the boards needs to continue. That could be what swings this game eventually.
Ginobili kicks to Duncan. Back to Ginobili. Feeds to Duncan. LeBron with some nice D. The Heat leading by 5. LeBron James on the win. We've got 33 seconds left here in the second. It's stolen by Green. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Ginobili, and he banks in the layup. Ginobili's got 10 points in the quarter.
He's really stepped it up this quarter. Looks like he's determined to get them out of this hole all by himself.
And Chalmers kicks to Bosh. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Thiago Splitter. It's stolen by Haslem. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And he finished last season right around 71% from the line. Not exactly the best of percentages.
That free throw missing. San Antonio making a switch here. And he sinks the second.
Well, that one miss shouldn't be too costly because he was able to make it a 2-possession lead at least.
It's Parker with the drive. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. From deep. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Miami.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to a Thursday edition of the Halftime.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
A look here at the fast-growing downtown of Miami, Florida, as we return to action.
What a game for Ginobili. 12 points, and he's done his job at the charity stripe. He's gotten 4 of his points from there.
And that's a good place to get them. You know, they don't come easier than that, but you've got to get yourself there first.
It seems like every year, guys, you look at Tony Parker, and he's found something else to add to his game. He's always improving.
And a fast break now for the Spurs. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Parker's got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Spurs. The Heat with the lead. LeBron dishes to Chalmers. Kicks it to Wade. Tries a 3. Tony Parker grabs the miss. Last season for Tony Parker, arguably his best ever. 20 points a game, almost 8 assists. 52% Steve from the field. And there was even talk at midseason about maybe MVP consideration.
Well, his ability to score inside around the rim is amazing. But he's also become a master of knocking down the jump shots from that 15 to 18-foot range. But really, this team has been built now around Parker. Their offensive strategy completely tailored to suit his talents.
The Heat shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. Leonard with the steal. Outside, Green. For the lead, LeBron with the block. Parker against Chalmers. The pass to Wade. Dishes it to Haslem. The stupendous finish in traffic. Haslam's got 6, and San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. Parker outside. He dishes it to Leonard. They set the pick. Back to Parker. Shot clock at 6. Left side, Leonard. From 15 feet away, and he nails the jumper. 9 points in the game so far.
They've worked the ball around very well. I'll tell you what, they continue to find good looks from mid-range.
Well, they're just taking what the defense is giving them because the defenders are backing off and daring them to shoot.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. LeBron passes to Haslam. Back to LeBron. Six to shoot. Pass to Haslam. It counts, and the foul. Tim Duncan picks one up.
And you love the concentration. Gets hit, but stays with the play.
Yeah, he showed a lot right there. Plenty of concentration, finding a way to get that shot to fall.
Norris Cole, he's checked in for Mario Chalmers.
Well, really the heart and soul of this Miami team in a lot of ways, Udonis Haslam. Born and raised in Miami. He's played his entire decade-long career with the Heat, and just a tough, hard-working guy and a locker room leader.
Here's Duncan. Misses off the right iron.
Been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
LeBron with it. Leonard picks him up. Three-pointer. Wade. Can't hit. So the Spurs will take it the other way. And back to Haslam. He helped lift the Florida Gators program back to prominence. Took them all the way to the NCAA championship game, playing at center of all positions.
But was really heavy back then at Florida. He had to lose a lot of weight before he was ready to play in the NBA. Went to Europe to play first. He's been the heart and soul of the Heat organization ever since.
LeBron kicks to Cole. Inside to Bosh. It's rebounded by Splitter. Splitter's got 4 rebounds in this game. Parker dishes to Green. Back to Parker. Duncan right side. And there's the call on Udonis Haslam. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
San Antonio making a switch here. Ellis checked in, and they take the lead.
I find it comically absurd at times when you hear people talk about the Spurs being boring to watch. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, the 4th highest scoring team in the league last season, they put up big numbers, and they do it with style, sharing the ball and with a lot of guys getting shots.
The shot no good. Duncan with some nice D. The Spurs have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Here's Bellinelli. 1:53 left to play in the third. And that one's good. And the offense of the Spurs, you mentioned the style club. Number 1 last season in assist percentage. 4th in three-point percentage.
Well, it's an unselfish kind of drive and kick offense that's led by Tony Parker because of his penetration, just how fast he is. Then you've got Manu Ginobili also with his ability to get to the rim. So you spread defenses out with the penetration, the shooters. You got Tim Duncan down low. They are really tough to guard.
Pass to Leonard. Launches it. Good. Leonard's got 12 points in the game.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Daniel Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. There's 1:17 left in the third quarter. And Cole kicks to Chalmers. Passes it to Cole. He feeds it to LeBron. To halt the run. San Antonio with the rebound. It's a 6-point game. Some firepower, Clark and Steve, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air of confidence? I mean, they really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, a little swagger here from this team. They're in a nice groove.
Boris Diaz checked in for Splitter. Miami's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. LeBron passes to Wade. Back to LeBron. We've got 33 seconds left in the third. Shot clock at 6. It's off his leg. And it's whistled a kick. The Spurs making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. And here are the Heat now. 6-point game. No good from Wade.
And poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
Bellinelli dishes to Diaw. Parker kicks to Bellinelli. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Bellinelli's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Boy, nice bucket. They are really playing intelligently here.
And even though the lead's not large, they've definitely got the upper hand.
Here's LeBron. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. LeBron's got 13.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. And the final period of play just about to start. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And another thing they're doing is really taking advantage of fast break opportunities, scoring some easy baskets.
And Parker, here we go. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Duncan. The shot, no good. Some solid defense from Bosch. The Heat trail by 7. Here's Wade. Takes it into the teeth of the knee and converts the layup. Wade's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Heat. Green against LeBron. Green gets a screen from Leonard. Green kicks to Leonard. Back to Green. A 3-ball. The Spurs rebound. Outside Leonard. Now the feed to Green. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. And Miami shooting at 50% in a decent group. Wade with it. Now Green defending. Wade passes to LeBron. Another miss by LeBron. Spurs leading by 5. Parker left side. And the layup's good off the glass.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
And here are the Heat now. And Chalmers kicks to Wade. Right side Bosch. Deflected. Diaw with the steal. Into Green. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
He can be dangerous from outside. Sure, he didn't get one to go in the first, but we know he can get on the roll and knock him down.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
You know, part of being a championship team is having the talent first and foremost, but then managing the minutes of that talent. The Heat, I thought, did a nice job monitoring the minutes of the big three throughout the season and playoffs last year.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. His message was this: all of us know these guys are capable of exploding and putting up points in a hurry. So I don't want to see anybody letting up until that final whistle blows. Guys, back to you.
Chalmers dishes to Haslam. Back to Chalmers. Clock at 6. He kicks it to Wade. Bosch, defended by Splitter. And Chris Bosch with the slam.
Up high and down hard with the one hand.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he?
You know, I think he's hoping to kind of get his teammates going a little bit, fellas.
As you said, Clark, the big three in their prime, but really, you want them to just get their work in during the season, not exhaust themselves before they make it to the playoffs.
I thought, Kevin, along those lines, I thought by the end of last season, Miami was exhausted. And once you try to win a third title in a row, the emotional fatigue and exhaustion really becomes a factor. So this is going to be interesting to watch all year.
Deflected by Hazel, and they'll keep possession, and the basket good.
I think the lead they've built here, guys, is in large part due to what they've done on the boards.
Absolutely. I mean, they have a +10 advantage in rebounds, and they've been in total control of the backboards.
Right side Bosch. Splitters there. Bosch kicks to Chalmers. From downtown. And again, Miami with the triple.
I think he's best as a spot-up shooter. When he can play off of his teammates and find openings on the perimeter, just catch and shoot. Got a quick release. Beautiful stroke.
He does such a nice job of getting himself squared up and in perfect position before the ball gets there. Preparing before the pass.
Again, the miss by Ginobili.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip. What a game for LeBron. 16 points and 2 blocks. You know, as tremendous as his stats are, what I've liked most is just the effort he's put into this game.
Yeah, it's really been something, Clark. The energy that he's brought. He's worked his tail off at the offensive end, and first guy back defensively as well.
He hasn't had as many opportunities at the line as he had in the first half.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
In a crucial spot, he is always so solid at the line. He rarely wastes those opportunities.
Ginobili kicks to Parker. 1:58 left to play here in the fourth. Ginobili outside. From deep three-point range, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
The Heat trail by 3. Coach is liking Clark what he's seeing from his offense.
Shoot, why wouldn't he? I mean, guys, they're filling it up with ease, executing, getting quality shots. I mean, this is fun to watch.
Yeah, this is like a clinic out there, guys. This is exactly how you attack a defense. Move the ball, sharp cuts, and really a nice pace to their offense.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're leading by 1. 1:32 left here in the fourth quarter. 1:32 left in the fourth quarter. The dish to split it. And just miss after miss right now.
As they grab one there, I was going to make the point that they just hasn't done enough in terms of rebounding the ball.
I agree. He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. Back to that point we were making about rebounding, Clark, it seems like they're coming up short just about every time.
Well, you're right, Kevin. You know, as we've seen here, that lack of rebounding has certainly shown up on the scoreboard.
Wade gets to Chalmers. To tie it up. And the Heat, another 3.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, that's 3 of the last 5 makes, having been behind the three-point line. So, got to make some adjustments defensively.
Parker, right side. .50 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Chalmers past the Bosch. Feeds to LeBron to take the lead. Rebounded by the Spurs. And now the fast break, Ginobili with the ball. Rebound by Mario Chalmers.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Kicks it to Wade. Back to Chalmers. From downtown. Trains it from downtown.
Well, that is the shot of the game.
Well, he's got the guts and courage to take it and the skill to make it.
.17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Parker, here we go. Ginobili. Wade is covering. No good from three-point territory. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, no question the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you got to send them to the line and hope for a few misses.
And that's an intentional foul. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he ends up making the second, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Here's Parker. Off the mark. And so the big win by Miami in a tight game. Well, they...